Alrighty then, folks, and welcome back to another fantastic edition of Opaline Presents Know Your Pros. And today's guest, we have the venerable Matt Maroney of Murrieta Valley Plumbing. They are Temecula Valley's choice for residential plumbing based out of Murrieta. They are strictly residential. It's a father-son outfit, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm excited to have the son, Matt, here today on Know Your Pros. Matt, thanks for coming by, man.
I appreciate it, Henry. Thanks for reaching out. Looking forward to this.
Yeah, dude, I am too. I love father-son outfits, especially in the home services world. Folks that run businesses that have a multi-generational sort of aspect, I find, are the ones who are most trying to do right, not only for their family, but for their clients. I think that's an easy reflection to make when you're choosing a plumber or an HVAC guy or anybody else, right? So tell me a little bit about two angles here. I want to know why Matt got into business with dad, how that sort of happened, especially with you kind of coming from the other end of the spectrum, the white collar sort of industry, maybe computers and things like that. And then why it was that dad, Mike Maroney, started this business all those years ago in 2006. Give me the story.
So let's start with Dad. Dad has been Mike's been doing this for since he was 17. He's 64 now, 63. I should probably know that.
Please.
But so he's been doing this his whole life. In '06, I think was the time where he was like, I want to do this on my own. He wanted to do the more commercial aspect of plumbing. He enjoyed that. He's so talented when it comes to just drawing up isometric drawings and doing all this stuff. And he could just pull material lists off of something he just drew up, no problem. Usually, maybe missing one or two fittings out of a whole job. So he just loved that. And that's what he did. Of course, starting a business in '06, it couldn't have been a worse time, right? We think about the '08, the crash and all that stuff. So he struggled, and that's the truth of the story. He's kind of crazy if you think about it, for continuing just to do it on his own.
Mm.
But he just pushed through it. And that, I think that when I was a kid growing up, and you hear about all this stuff, although I was pretty young, you still know what's going on in the world. And just having him pushing through really showed a lot of determination. I think that's what is maybe brought me to that as well. And so, yeah, '06, he just loves plumbing. That's all he's ever done. He's never had another job. It's just, he's a true plumber.
Well, I'll tell you, Matt, I mean, like some of the strongest businesses that I know of were born out of the financial downturn,
For
in
sure.
'08. A lot of the biggest tech companies that both you and I know today were born directly after, the economy took a dump in 2008, man. So, it's just a testament to sticking power, to staying power, to
Absolutely.
I mean, like, just choosing to march onward when, everything's kind of stacked against you. So that's a testament to the character right there. I mean, like in terms of the industry of plumbing, though, like you said, that dad's been doing this since he was 17 years old. Like you weren't a plumber for a while before you joined up with dad. Like, why
Yeah.
did you decide to get into like the home services world, and where did you come from before that?
So I've been plumbing with him forever. I can remember like my core memories of when I was a kid was being on job sites on Saturdays and Sundays with dad, running tape measures out till they break. And he's probably bought thousands of dollars of tape measures. But and so plumbing's something that I grew into. It's I grew up with, knew about it at a young age, learned how to solder, learned how to do all the basic plumbing things at a really young age. Told dad I wasn't interested in plumbing, was going to do my own route. I raced motocross since I was 4. So I always thought, professional motocross rider or something along those lines. And then out of high school, I got into like mechanics for like off-road trucks and stuff like that. But I just couldn't stand being in a shop all day. So that lasted a whole like 6 months, 8 months or something like that. And then it just, I don't know what happened, but it just naturally became where I started going, I think I needed a paycheck is what happened. And so I started working with dad. And since then, it's just been a supernatural progression between me as an employee with him and then now as business partners. There's no key points that I could just pull from, the years of, oh, this is exactly the turning point. This is what we were looking for. So
I think it's only natural, like coming from working with your hands, messing around with trucks in the shop. I mean, yeah, I used to be a video editor, man. I'll tell you what. And it's funny now I'm a, video host.
For sure.
It's in one aspect of the business, but I remember sitting down with like an editor and him telling me, yeah, like it's very contract based, you work on a movie or a TV show for a couple of months, then you got to look for the next thing. And the
Mhm.
entire time you're sitting in a dark room, making sure that everything is color correct and, everything's spliced together exactly how it should be. I don't do my own editing anymore. I only do the hosting and the talking about my business, which is great. But holy cow, if I had stuck with that, it would have been a different story, and maybe it would have been a little bit less tan right now.
Yeah,
So
absolutely, huh?
working
Yeah.
with your hands, that's where it's at, man. I love that. Um, little
For sure.
aside there. Back to MVP. You guys are the MVP plumbers. You're the Murrieta Valley Plumbing Company. Murrieta
Yes.
Valley Plumbing, if you're Googling it. Um, I get a lot of interesting sort of, basic answers when I ask my last question, which is always, hey, why is it that somebody should call Murrieta Valley Plumbing over the competition? I know that you guys only focus on residential. You used to be like commercial and tenant improvement, a little bit of the new build side, but now you're like only on the residential kick. And it's you and dad, but you're growing.
Mhm.
What would you kind of categorize as the big difference compared to everybody else in the plumbing space, at least in the Temecula Valley? How would you kind of say that?
Um, I think the biggest thing would be what dad brings to the table, right? Mike brings so much to the table of 46 years of experience. That's not something that can be taught realistically. It's something that is you just learn over the years. And 46 years is a lot of years to learn a lot of different things, as well as my newer side of thinking when it comes to um, the automation and the way we handle the customers, the way we treat our customers, the way all that stuff. That's I think that's where this blend comes together very nice. And I think that's what separates us too, because you got the guys running around in trucks that have been doing it forever, but no new generations coming in helping them learn the other aspects, because we can always learn something, right? So
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And with home service guys too, man. It's sometimes, I mean, it's obviously frustrating for a guy like me who tries to enable businesses like that with technology, but holy cow, get on the phone with them and explain to them why you might need a review or two more than what you got, over these last 15 years or something.
for sure,
um,
yeah.
is practically impossible. So it's really fun as like a disciple of like Mike Rowe, who's about bringing a younger generation into the trades. And guys like Nick Huber who are trying to turn unsexy businesses
Hmm.
sexy again and make them into money making operations that are enabled by technology. I think that's great. You get a mix of the old school with dad, the experience of pops, and the new school with Matt, the protege who I think inevitably takes over the business after being partner
Yeah,
for.
that's a plan. He keeps telling me, he says I'm retiring next year, so we got a lot of moves to make before he could do that. But
Oh,
we'll see
man.
what happens. I promised him that we'd get a bigger shop, and that I would get him some sort of muscle car to mess around with. So
Nice. Dad'll be saying that for the next 10 years if you're not careful. I'll be
right,
retiring next year.
right. Yeah.
Matt, we're out of time, man, but I want to allow for you to plug the business. For those of you out there watching this video, I want you to understand where you can find Murrieta Valley Plumbing. Matt, fire away with where folks can get in touch with you and your business.
Yeah, you can find us at our website, murrietavalleyplumbing.com, our Facebook page, Murrieta Valley Plumbing, Google page as well, Murrieta Valley Plumbing, Yelp. We're basically everywhere. So reach out there and then call the office. I'm constantly monitoring all those calls coming through. So if anybody ever needs anything, I'm more than happy to reach out.
Beautiful. Well, thank you, Matt, for plugging that. And folks, as always, everything is in the description of this video. So take a peek, click those links, check out the socials with Matt and Dad, and they've got a pretty great Google listing to boot. So once again, folks, residential plumbers here in Temecula Valley, it's Murrieta Valley Plumbing. This is Matt Maroney. Matt, thank you for hopping on here today and allowing our audience to know their pro at MVP. Thanks, man.
Absolutely. I appreciate the opportunity. Look forward to, we'll have to do another one.
We'll do 2.0 with Pops next time,
Perfect.
when he finally retires, huh? How about that?
There we go. Yeah. We'll see it. We'll see you in a year.